Genesis with the upset, 3-2 over Northern Gaming.
Like, if they win, James, you can wear the hat.
Absolutely.
Genesis loves it, of course. I'm sure the chat is probably lending their energy as well. But I think it's about time to get started. So I want to throw it over to our commentators for the first match. It's going to be Leaf and Carpet.
Thank you, Axel Tuss. Mr. Carpet. This is the RLCS, and look at that magnificent beard. It's still great.
Yeah, I think I put a lot of time into it, just a little bit. But I am just excited. I know these players have been so stoked to travel out here to do all this, to be a part of this first RLCS international final. I know we have been just as excited to be a part of it as they have.
I mean, please forgive me if I just stop talking. I may explode from the hype levels in this place. It's been nuts.
But, you know, to get to the teams, right, we have Genesis and Northern Gaming, which is formerly known as We Dem Girls. We have a lot on the line right now. This is the opening act, the opening game that both these teams are really going to be fighting for. But I do want to talk about, you know, we heard Northern Gaming talk about how they rely on heavy rotations, so they have no specific roles. All three of them are usually really good at any position, any striking position. I mean, when we're casting, we'll keep stats, and I can never tell you who's the actual striker because they're almost even across the board with goals scored.
100%. Yeah, no, and it's cool then seeing it's such a different play style from Genesis, where they do have more specific roles, and a lot of teams do tend to do that. And it's going to be cool to see the clash of play styles between these two. I mean, people, for some reason, seem to think Genesis being the underdog in this matchup, but I think they have a fair chance. Man, it's like they're all looking hot watching these scrims and that. Everyone's looking good. We're going to see some hype stuff.
Yeah, and it's just a matter of, like, you put a fire under any team, especially of this caliber. I mean, they're going to perform as best as they can. You know, Quinn mentioning that he's a big passer. He's actually one of the best passers that I've seen in Rocket League. He has a really good eye for the field, knows exactly where a lot of his teammates are going to be. And then you're talking about how Pluto's defensive, denying those backboard bounces that you heard Remco actually say they use a lot. So that could easily be a counter. You know, if they're on point and everyone is where they need to be, it could be a really nail-biting game.
All right, well, it sounds like we're ready for some Rocket League. We're going to see Northern Gaming versus Genesis, the first game of the RLCS Live Finals. We're going to get down into this right now. And, I mean, they got to predict it. What are your predictions?
I'm not going to do it. Don't make me do it. They have to do it, not me.
Well, we're going to see right now as they get onto the field, and the crowd gives the energy to every single one of them. I mean, it's going to be intense seeing these two playstyles, as we said, clash against each other as everyone's loaded in. Look at those wonderful, wonderful cars on the field, and the countdown will begin.
As we do know, We Dem Girls is a top team. They're fighting for this. They know they have a lot to live up to, but I know that Genesis is here just to knock them down too.
All right, let's do it. Who's going to get that first goal? Who's going to be the first to set history, the first RLCS Live Final goal? We're going to find out right now as both teams warm up to each other. We Dem Girls going to be the first to put pressure on the attack. Greasy contests it up nice in the air, and this Remco just whiffing wide as Genesis already stuck in their own end, trying to make a breakout on a counterattack. Quinn has a chance right now. Pluto expecting to pass, gets it up to Quinn. Good play from the two of them, and now they are finally on the attack. Maestro intercepting to put it back to midfield as Espion keeps that pressure on for Genesis. But Greasy, nice long clear as they set up an attack off the backboard, and there it is, a good intercept. Otherwise, could have been a dangerous spot for Genesis.
Genesis knows what they have to deny. They do not want to let anything come off that backboard. For anyone who's watched Northern Gaming play, if it touches that backboard, there is like a 90% chance that's about to be a shot slammed right into your net.
Here we go, Northern Gaming now back on the push forward. Someone's going to have to contest that, or Espion, so sick to the air, intercepts that one. There's a shot almost coming from Quinn, but he misses that. Going to allow Greasy to move up. Demo, Pluto on Remco. Could be a shot, almost in as Espion just gets in the way of that one. Quinn to push forward, but Espion a little bit behind that one's going to leave that for Remco as he throws it out, trying to intercept, but he's going to back off. Quinn not going to be able to do anything as Northern Gaming pushes up the field in the air. No one able to get a real attack off, but Greasy getting stuffed out by Espion, still so sick to the air.
The confidence in both of these teams right now, they're trusting each other. They have tight rotations, no open nets, but a couple of really good shots coming out of Northern Gaming so far.
We're back on the back heel, all boosted up though. Northern Gaming trying to push out Quinn off the backboard, see if they can pull out some of that Northern Gaming tactics. Doesn't work out for them. Pressure from Quinn puts that a little bit to the side though. Pluto's going to have to get in there instead. Genesis on the back heel, keeping it at midfield. No shots yet again. 2 minutes into this match, and both teams are definitely feeling it out. Nerves have to be playing a factor in this.
Nerves are going to be high, but you still see a lot of speed coming out of Northern Gaming. They're trying to meet every single ball in a 50-50, and no matter where it is in the field, But at the same time,
Oh,
here comes.
that could be it. The first one. Greasy making history. The first RLCS goal right there coming up for Northern Gaming.
Greasy taking advantage, just beating Espion up to that aerial, finding the location. Pluto wasn't able to rotate back quick enough, and the first goal of the international final has been scored by Greasy of Northern Gaming.
We're going to see now if that momentum carries forward. We're going to see Northern Gaming may use this to their advantage. Momentum is a huge factor in Rocket League, and they're pushing for another one. Genesis, only one goal away, so has a lot of time to pull this one back. A little blocked out from Espion there, but he does get a flip out. No one to follow that up, but a shot potentially from Quinn. Blocked out, good defense, but Quinn going in for a demo. Doesn't quite get what he wants, but does keep the rotation a little bit too tight for Northern Gaming as they're stuck in their own end. A shot from Quinn, almost on. What a touch from Quinn.
Genesis showing they have just as good mechanical skill. That shot from Quinn was just insane. I don't know how he got the angle, but they're putting on the pressure. They want to remind Northern Gaming that they're not out of this.
Pluto to push this one forward. They want to tie this one up, 2 minutes left. Lots of time. Greasy though with another shot to Remco, tries to get the pop. Espion in the way. Northern Gaming with another shot, but stopped out once again by Espion. Pluto with the long shot, and he's famous for these. Off the crossbar, just misses that one. A little bit too high, and they're still down a goal.
So close. Pluto saw his opportunity, and he was just a little bit too high. Didn't have the angle. There was someone putting on pressure, but him being able to acknowledge that shot is exactly what they're going to be able to potentially pull off as this game continues.
Whoa, shot just blocked up. Espion, but there's the finish. Remco with another one. Northern Gaming up 2-0.
This is the pressure that Northern Gaming is known for. We get the first shot from Maestro, forcing Pluto up. Espion has to make a save. Remco following just in behind. Once the net's open, trying to solidify the goal, and he does.
There it is. We're going to see if they can keep that up for the next 1:43. Once I said it before, lots of time, though, for Genesis to pull back on this one. And as you said, they're showing great mechanical skill, just barely missing the net, getting off the crossbars, but they are on the attack now. Maestro steals it away from Espion. They're going to have to rotate back fast with a shot almost going on net. That angle from Maestro just going off the crossbar. Greasy keeping the pressure on. Nice little back pass there to Remco, getting drop it in. Pluto with a good save there. Off the backboard, Maestro setting it back up, and that pressure from Northern Gaming coming in. This is what we like to see them do. And Genesis gonna have to break out. Dangerous spot. Maestro just slow rolls that win off the post.
With the dunk, I believe that is almost what's going to be headed out towards. But again, we see the pressure from Northern Gaming. This was like 5 shots consecutively. Maestro reading that off the backboard. Again, just getting there in time. You saw what they were forcing Genesis to do. All 3 players had to stay in net, and eventually they cracked.
3-0 with a minute left. This is gonna be a mad dash for Genesis. You never wanna be down that many goals with the final minute, because you do have to give up some defensive strategy if you want to start putting pressure on. When you're being pressured that much in your own end, that's a scary thing. That final minute of gameplay. First game as Northern Gaming trying to take it. Remco off the wall. Let's see if he can get a shot just a little bit wide. Stopped out by Espion. There's a shot from Greasy. Maestro gonna keep possession for themselves there. Loses control of this car, so that's gonna be Quinn popping that right down to the end. No one there to contest it. Greasy trying to take control, but there's Remco instead, keeping it low. Maestro, good passing plays from Northern Gaming with a demo. Could be a chance to break out for Pluto and Quinn. But Greasy up on the wall with a shot. Wow! He just steals that one off the wall.
Greasy's read here off the wall is just insane. Pluto tries to clear it out, bounce off the wall. Greasy gets there just as it bounces up. What an insane read, putting it towards that. Quinn lobbed out so close, almost making it back in time. But Greasy reading that off the wall, giving no chance for Genesis to get back.
Northern Gaming coming out strong in the first game of the RLCS. This is looking good for them, but Genesis still has a chance. We'll see if they can do that in 30 seconds or if they're going to be looking at the next game, chatting it up to see what they got to do to fix up. Going to the next one, as still the pressure on from Northern Gaming. They want more. They want those stats.
They really do. Right now it's just raw speed. Weedham Girls is beating Genesis to a lot of contests. And they're even the ones that they're tying, they're still being able to put the pressure on and follow up every touch, where Genesis is sitting back a little bit too much.
There it is, the first game going to Northern Gaming in this set.
Northern Gaming coming out so strong right off the bat, but again, first game nerves. You don't know exactly how it's going to turn out. I know Genesis probably knows they have they've now seen what they're in for. They've now seen exactly what they need to fight against, and they're going to be coming out strong in game 2.
So what do you think then Genesis has to do to pull back from that 4-0?
Genesis needs to pick up the speed and have a little bit more confidence. They were sitting back a little bit too much in their own half, even when they were clearing it. The one thing you'll see Weedham Girls do is they're always ready. As soon as they see, they have confidence in their own defenders. As soon as you see one Northern Gaming player ready to clear it out, someone's going to follow suit. They're already up, ready for the pass, or they're already starting to get ready to chase it down, and they're going to be right up in your face immediately. They're not going to let you contest.
Beyond pressure, it's those reads, as we saw that amazing ball read off there. That's huge to stay 2 steps to your opponent every time, and it just, you can get in the head if they're not able to get any clears even.
Yeah.
How do you play against them that when you're on defense the whole time?
It's tough. I mean, again, it's just raw speed. You heard them talk. You heard them say themselves, they are one of the fastest teams out there. They get to the ball faster than almost anybody. They have just an amazing amount of confidence in each other and an amazing amount of confidence in just how the ball is going to be bouncing on the field. We saw that shot from Greasy. That prediction off the wall was pretty insane.
Yeah, well, I know Pluto to make some amazing long shots. Hopefully we're going to see a little more of those come out of him and just capitalize on any open net potential that he has. I think that's going to be a key for Genesis.
Yeah, Genesis definitely has the potential. We saw some really good mechanical plays, some good opportunities. It was just not as much as it could have been. They could have potentially had a few more shots on goal. But if they can continue to put the pressure on, they have a really good shot at this.
Game number 2 of Northern Gaming versus Genesis. We're going to see if Genesis can pull this one back. Good passing plays. Espion keeping that up. A little bit of a juggle play from them. Pluto up into the air, quick to try to put that on target, but a little bit too soft. Now a 1v2. This is an open net, and Maestro gonna easy put that one in.
So close, but now up. 1 goal in the first game, almost. Quinn Lobdell, if he'd contested that, it would have been a really scary position for Northern Gaming. And then Espion tried to read the touch, but it actually wasn't coming as fast as he thought. Maestro had a nice, easy cruise to the net, but again, only 1 goal up. Still both teams' games.
I mean, you gotta shake those quick early ones off. They mean nothing when there's still so much time left. A little overcommitted, he's got to watch out for him, but Pluto with a shot, just missing. And we've seen a couple crossbars from Pluto so far.
Sometimes you just gotta take that extra quarter second to make the shot. I know it's tough and it's stressful, but hitting that crossbar is detrimental to what these goals can end up becoming.
Stressful is an understatement in this situation as they're on stage right now, but a shot just a little bit too soft from Quinn there. Remco gonna just get a nice clear as his team settles up for an attack, getting boosted up. Maestro with possession. Quinn gonna take that back to Espion. A little soft touch there, Remco intercepting. Puts that out actually off backboard, but there's Greasy taking that one away. Once again, Quinn with a clear out to midfield. Pluto with getting a bump, but he's boosted up. Couldn't keep possession to get an attack on. They're at least making it to midfield as Genesis tries to make a break and an attack. But a little too slow, there's Greasy. Now Remco, look at these rotations from Northern Gaming.
Again, it's the pressure, but we saw Genesis come out early and fast. In the very beginning, got a couple of good shots, like you said, Pluto hitting that crossbar, getting so close to making it.
Maestro gets a nice little tap on that one to get it past the defender.
This is the follow-through I'm talking about. Maestro puts it up through, but follows himself. Quinn not prepared for that second touch, tried to read it. It's one of those situations where you don't know if he's actually gonna get to it. He may or may not. He tried to read both. He ended up in between and wasn't able to defend the shot, even though it was slow. Difficult read.
It's such a scary spot to be backwards, having no one else to help you out and being against Northern Gaming. But Remco, Maestro now pushing up for another one. 2-0 for Northern Gaming. Pluto Espion in defense, waiting for Quinn to get back. Maybe he's waiting for a pass, but they couldn't quite get it out to him. Espion on the wall. They got to make sure those touches are really good or you follow up, but Maestro intercepts Espion's touch there. Pluto needs to get a nice hard touch on that, but Greasy just past him. Can he get past Espion? He can't, as they do finally get an attack forward. Only 1 defender, but the soft touches from Genesis are not helping them create any offensive attacks.
It's just a little bit slow. You'll see the really hard hits coming out of Northern Gaming, whereas Genesis, they're taking a little bit of time. They're trying to set up the passing plays, but it's really easy for Northern Gaming to be reading them.
Greasy and a Co moving forward. They're going to let that one come back to their net. Pluto, the sole attacker on that. As they do finally get it past one, but not past all 3. Northern Gaming and Maestro. Remco blocked the shot. He's like, I wanted that one. Trying going for that cheeky goal steal. We'll see if they get another one here. Past 1 defender, not the next. Only 2 up, still halfway through game number 2 in this series.
We see the follow-up here, Quinn to Pluto. That's when they're able to put the pressure on. But if they don't continue that pressure, they'll just lose possession to Northern Gaming, and you'll see that the same on both sides. When Northern Gaming's clearing out of their half, you'll see 3 of them touch it before it even passes like a quarter. They move it around. They really prevent any contest coming from Genesis.
Look at that communication from Northern Gaming. Remco leaves it for Greasy as they try to create another attack. They are just on point with each other and making sure they're understanding where each other's mindset is at. And now Pluto trying to make an attack. That's going to go a little bit too far for them to do anything with it, but Espion just trying to keep possession. Going to go in front of the net, Maestro. Good touch to the side. He's going to follow it up himself as Pluto moves in hard to get a touch out front for Quinn.
Went a little bit too late to that one, but Espeon keeping the pressure on now as Genesis tries to put an attack on, but overcommitting a little too much. Almost got my time, but Pluto takes out Remco.
Really close. You'll see Genesis now putting up the pressure, but they have to be careful that they want to rotate back quick enough on defense. We saw almost an open goal just come for Northern Gaming, but thankfully the demo was able to show up.
There it is, Genesis. First goal. There's Quinn taking it for his team.
Quinn
They put one in.
noticing that no one was back. Looks like just a little bit too convinced. Maestro, he backflipped instead of getting the touch. He really wanted to pop it high, so Quinn didn't have a shot. But with that whiff, again, with the aggressive positioning that Northern Gaming has, one mistake can result in an open net. Quinn Lobdell was there for it.
Minute 15 left, only one goal down. Genesis, that's got to feel good, man, for them. There's another one. Oh, Espeon a little bit too weird on that one, and now it's going to be another open net. And we're possibly looking, no, they missed. Almost looking at a 2-goal lead for Northern Gaming, but 1 minute left with 1 goal. Very possible. They're going to be trying to carry that momentum, but they're stuck in their own end. Espeon over to Quinn. Good awareness. Quinn's got to move this forward quick. A little bit of a flip-flop. Let someone lose control of that. Espeon missing on the wall, and just sloppiness is going to allow another shot on net for Northern Gaming. They do miss that one. Still a chance with 40 seconds left for Genesis to tie this one up, potentially hitting overtime. Quinn going for that wall hit, but it goes the wrong way. And no teammate to follow that up to take possession. Pluto missing out on the touch there as Northern Gaming regains control, and they're on the attack. Quinn trying to break out. 25 seconds left for them to get a goal, but Remco beating over Quinn. Shot on net. Espeon ready for it, but another one almost sinking in. Pluto all boosted up. Espeon boosted up. They can move forward, but Greasy has a shot off the backboard. This is where Northern Gaming shines, but they're going to leave that one. 10 seconds left is all Northern Gaming has to do to stay alive. They're going to try to get another goal. Can they do it? 5 seconds, and there it is, the sinker, the nail in the coffin, and Northern Gaming's going to end up taking this one too.
Remco showing up just to make sure that they have this lead, but take a look at this. They were 1 goal up with less than 15 seconds left, and they're still doing nothing but offense. They're not going to break the way they play, which is perfect for their mentalities. They're not going to change what they do. They're just going to keep doing exactly what they know how to do and just keep punishing Genesis for every mistake they make.
There we go. That ball's going to touch the ground. Remco's probably going to want another one. He does put it past all 3, and they almost got another cheeky one at the end, 0 second. But there's Northern Gaming with game at number 2. They're up 2-0 in the series.
They're up 2-0. One more, and Northern Gaming will take the first series of this international final. I know they have to be feeling fantastic. Genesis, though, they're not getting dominated. The first game was a little bit of a landslide, but again, I'm sure they were feeling it, a little bit of stresses. This game, though, down by 1 most of the game. They have a shot. Again, it's just the speed. They're a little bit slow. They're letting Northern Gaming play their game. You can't allow a team of that caliber to do that.
You can't, and a lot of things I'm noticing is just some missed touches or soft touches, and that's not helping them break out of their own end. Like, how do you get off defense if you're not hitting it hard enough, right? That's strictly what it is. If they can get a lot more harder touches, as I said, so he needs to get those hard clears and shots on net to allow them to break out. That's what they need to do this. But they still have a chance. It's going to be hard being down 2-0 in the series.
It really is. I'm sure they have a lot of pressure, but again, sometimes the hard clears you don't really want to do because you give up possession. But if you do too many soft touches against a team that's always in your face, you're going to lose possession. It's going to be hard to get out of your half. So like you said, if they can get some really good passing plays, it would work. But if they're going to get a hard clear, follow it up. They haven't been doing it very well.
Well, we're going to see if getting into game number 3, they can do it for Northern Gaming. Northern Gaming is going to be able to take this, but there's some love right now. Let's see if they can feed off the energy. Their energy is coming to them. Give me your energy.
They've got some fans. I mean, both these teams, I know, they're just going to be fighting tooth and nail right now. They really, really want this. Genesis still has a chance. Being 2 down, the pressure's high, the stakes are up, but they still have a chance.
Well, we're going to get down into the game as we go into game number 3 of Northern Gaming versus Genesis. Is Northern Gaming going to take it 3-0, or is Genesis going to get that wonderful reverse sweep? We're going to find out right now in the first set of the RLCS International Finals. There's Remco out to Maestro as they try to get this little backflip. Would have been super sweet if they dropped that one in, but no goal early on as Quinn tries to push that one forward. They're making an attack now. We'll see if they can get any good real attack started up, but once again, misses there. Pluto sends that way the wrong way. Espeon gonna have to clean that one up in front of the net. Scary spot for Quinn. Puts it out. Pluto does take that away from Remco. Could have been a shot on net.
That's the 1-2 touches I want to see out of Genesis. That's how you're going to beat this aggressive team. Just misdirect. Start passing the ball one direction, tap it another, get it around those people that are in your half. Get it around the Northern Game players that are trying to put pressure on, and you're just removing them from the play.
Espeon, Pluto trying to move forward. Espeon does get it past Maestro, and then Greasy in there. That's a shot potential, but no one to follow it up. Greasy
getting greasy on Espeon there, as they now have a chance to break back out. They want that first goal. They don't want to give that one up to Genesis and let them be ahead. This could be a good touch from Espeon, gets that out to Quinn, but Quinn missing that one could leave Maestro a lot of time to set something up for Northern Gaming. They do miss out on a play there. Espeon, the soft touch out, but Quinn in a scary spot. That's off the post. No one there to follow it up. Moving forward, this is a 3v1. If they can get a play started up, Pluto a little bit, actually really good, but Remco does stay in spot for that.
They get back so fast. I see all three of them. Oh, it's so close. I see all three of them in Genesis' half, and the next thing I know, they're somehow back on defense. Their rotation is just so hard to beat.
That's going to be a hard spot for Quinn. He does get the touch he needed, though, to push it to the side. Remco Greasy going to try to set something else up. A soft touch off the backboard. This is not where you want that ball to be when you're facing Northern Gaming. A miss there from Espeon, going to send him ahead. Pluto trying to get the read, the shot on net. And there's the first goal going to Northern Gaming.
Maestro reading that defender. He gets this first soft touch, touches it to Greasy, then waits. Greasy pops it up. He considers following it up, but instead, Maestro comes in for the touch, reads the defender, gets underneath the ball, puts it up. All three of those touches, incredible play to bring them the first goal of this game.
It's a very low scoring game this time. It means Genesis obviously doing something right to keep the ball out of their own net, but they do need some more attacks on that blue side. There's Quinn with a shot, but Remco, easy stop there. Pluto to follow it up. Bad touch, and Greasy's gonna take that to the side, but on the attack still, this could be a scoring opportunity, but they do wash that one up. And they're not gonna be able to put one in, but Espeon with the shot, and there it is! Quinn to get credit for that one, and it's tied up for Genesis, Northern Gaming.
I can't tell if that was the goal secure or the coolest goal skill I've seen in a while. Espeon gets the angle he needs. Quinn reassuring, making sure, I mean, at this level of play, who cares who gets the goal? You just want to make sure it goes in.
As long as it's in.
Yeah,
That's all that
matter
matters.
at that point.
At this
I know
point,
Espeon is happy he touched it to make sure.
Precisely, and we're tied up, approaching that halfway mark. This could be it for Genesis to pull back in this series, as they are down 2-0 in this best of 5. They need this. This is do or die if they do not want to drop down to that lower bracket. And there's Pluto up to Quinn. Quinn touch out to nobody but Remco. Remco gonna move forward with Greasy Maestro as Northern Gaming now puts on an attack. Good read from Maestro to keep that on the attack, but they do eventually lose possession. Espeon with a weird touch. That's gonna be easy back into the orange side. There's a shot on net. Quinn just getting in the way of that one. As Northern Gaming once again putting the pressure on, but good stops on defense from Genesis, allowing them to finally break out. Good touch out from Pluto to Espeon. Can they get a play started up there? Quinn a little bit too late to the ball. Stalked out by Northern Gaming. There's Pluto with another setup. Espeon up in the air, trying for something sick.
Espeon's motto. We see a lot of pressure coming out of Genesis now. They really are picking up the pace. They know they're facing down the barrel right now. One loss, and this series will be over, so they are fighting so hard for this.
Maestro was going to go for that one, but opts to stay down instead and just keep possession of the ball as they try to put an attack on. Remco gonna wait for this one. The challenge coming up from Pluto, that pops up high for Quinn to push out. Pluto's gonna have to follow that up, or Greasy is gonna pop that back out for a teammate. Espeon in the air. They go way wide on that. They're gonna have to try to make a play off that backboard, but Remco with a hard touch and that hard clear, gonna leave that with Maestro and Quinn to duke it out. Quinn does get the touch instead, but Maestro waiting up as Greasy Remco try to set something up. Quinn gets the touch they wanted. That's going towards the net, and that's going to sink in. There it is. Genesis now in the lead.
A pinch coming from the offensive side of Genesis between Quinn Lobdell and Greasy himself. No one had rotated back quick enough on Northern Gaming, and that gives Genesis the lead here in Game 3.
There it is. 1 minute left. All they have to do is hold on to this lead.
Good luck against Northern Gaming.
Right? Because if you get too complacent, they're going to take advantage of that and get you stuck in your own end. You still have to play hard. You cannot get complacent whatsoever. And there they are on defense as they try to break out. That's going to be a scary spot. Espeon gets the right touch on that one to get it past 2 attackers. But on defense, Quinn, Espeon, Pluto making the rotations is the one they need. The clear to break out. 49 seconds left. We'll see if they can extend their lead or just hold on to this one. But Maestro trying to get a touch. That's going to be almost on net. Quinn, a scary spot, does push it to the side. As there's a shot for Remco. Can he get over Espeon? Espeon waits patiently to keep that one out. 30 seconds left. They're up still 2-1, but shot from Remco. That's going to be in front of the net. That's going to be on. Greasy ties it up. 30 seconds left. Not what Genesis wants, but exactly what Northern Gaming wants.
This touch from Remco. I cannot believe he touches it with Quinn Lobdell. It might have been a pitch between 2 of them right up in the ceiling. Greasy. We were actually on cam with him. We got to see him follow that through. He got to that ball just as it peaked across the crossbar. Just as it got underneath, he was so ready. He didn't want to give any time for anyone to defend that.
30 seconds left, and on the attack, Northern Gaming, Pluto. Spider-Man touched the side, but it goes right back in front of the net. Greasy trying to get something fancy. Doesn't get what he needs, and Quinn Espion moving that one up there on the attack. Remco the only one in, but he's going to beat out Espion. Quinn to follow it up. No attack there. Pluto just trying to get to the possession, but 2 people on that ball. Could be a scary spot. They are committing hard to this one, but no third to push that one in. That is in front of the Northern Gaming net, but they just keep that one out with 2 seconds left. We're potentially seeing an overtime here as that touches the ground. First overtime of the RLCS. This is intense.
This is Genesis fighting for it right now. They need this win to stay alive in this series. But Northern Gaming, I know they want this over. They want to move on.
Here we go on the attack. Already is Northern Gaming. They don't like this overtime situation. A shot on net. Espion just keeping that one to the side. They need to break out. They're boosted up, but can they get the touches they needed? The contests coming from Northern Gaming are too much right now as it drops in, and Remco drops it in. Northern Gaming gonna take the 3-0 over Genesis.
Remco coming in with the pressure. Greasy, that contest was obscene, but look at how quick Remco gets up. He beats both defenders from Genesis. No one able to get underneath that ball, clenching the victory, giving them the series. Northern Gaming.
There it is, Northern Gaming end. Not as we want to say expected, but playing strong, doing exactly what they need to do. Northern Gaming doing what they always do, that pressure, unreal, contesting absolutely everything, and using that backboard as they beautifully do.
Genesis showed a lot of skill. They did what they, you could see them having their positions. Quinn with the passing plays, Pluto with defense, Espion offense. But against Northern Gaming, it was just so hard. They just kept interrupting everything. They couldn't make any plays out of it.
Well, it did look like Genesis started to pull it forward a little bit more at the end, and they're going to have to go into that lower bracket with that mentality. Keep trying hard. You are not out yet at all. Mm-hmm. And those matches were close. We got an overtime in game number 3 there. They started to pull it forward, and some teams are just going to take a little bit more time to warm up, right?
Yeah, and that's against the #1 undisputed online team. I mean, Northern Gaming has done so well up until this point. So to be able to do that against a team like that is going to set a really good pace for Genesis going on through the tournament.
Perfect. Well, I'm sure you want to hear from the team that just won. We're going to head down to Golden Boy and talk to Greasy Meister and see what's going through their heads at the moment.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. I'm down here with Greasy Meister. Greasy, congratulations on your victory. First win at the RLCS International Final. And give it up, give it up. I mean, how was the experience playing in front of this crowd, for the first time ever?
We were really nervous, when we were standing back there and saw the huge crowd. It's an amazing atmosphere here, and it's really fun playing in front of them.
Awesome. Well, go ahead, sorry.
No, I was done.
Oh, well, that's excellent. He was done. All right. Now, the other thing I wanted to ask is, it's in regards to Genesis, right? I mean, you guys had the pressure on them. Pretty much the ball was on their side the entire time. What did you tell your team? I mean, you're sitting in the middle. You're trying to coordinate everything. You're the captain. What was going on in the booth?
Just the usual. We don't really...
Just another day at the park?
Yeah. We don't really have any plans for how to play. We just try to rotate and keep the pressure up. Okay. Don't let them clear ever. So.
Wow. Don't let them clear ever. All right. Well, of course, congratulations. Do you have any words for these people? I mean, they were chanting Genesis. They were firmly against you. So don't believe anything they say.
I don't.
No. Anyway, guys, give it up for Greasy. Give it up. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and toss it over to the analysts. Take it away, boys.
Thanks a lot, Golden Boy. Spicy match to start out the day here. Start out the RLCS International Final. Of course, Northern Gaming looked pretty good.
Yeah, they did. The first game, the 2.5 minutes was everyone was feeling it out, and then they scored 4 goals in 2 minutes, and then after that it was a stop basically until game 3.
Yeah, really a team effort. Every single player for Northern Gaming getting a goal to start it out, sharing the love there. So very good job by Northern.
They're really good. What more can you say? Let's check out some replays. The Mobile One high-performance replay from that match and see how that kind of played out.
Yeah, it was all about Northern Gaming's pressure throughout the entire game. They were just faster to the ball. Right here, Maestro with a great shot to force a bad save from Espion, and they get an easy shot after that.
Yeah, and just again, you saw Greasy talking about not letting them clear. He did that right there on the wall. Northern Gaming was so quick to rotate and really just played their game. It seemed like they weren't as nervous because they just kept the pressure on, and they were leading the RLCS in goals against. They hardly let anybody score, and we saw that with the Game 1 shutout.
Yeah, Quinn was the only one with 3 goals for Genesis. And once in a while, they would leave a wide open net because their rotations, like someone would miss a ball or Genesis would win a good 50-50. But for the most part, they just beat them in the air every single time. Espeon was doing pretty well in the air, I thought. I thought Pluto and Quinn were a little slower while going up for balls, while that's what Northern Gaming is known for, is just to get up so quickly. Like right there, like another win from Remco, the overtime winner in Game 3.
And isn't that great, being able to see an overtime already?
Yes.
Yes,
That's
that
nice.
first overtime, and unfortunately for Genesis, in North America, the North American team getting knocked down into the lower bracket, but they still have a chance.
Yep.
I do want to announce the MVP for that match, if maybe the crowd could help out and make some noise for Maestro.
Yeah, Maestro was on fire. The first game, he was mostly like assisting Greasy, but Greasy and Maestro both were doing great on the offensive side of the ball. Game 2 is where he really shined and gave them that big 2-0 lead.
Absolutely. Maestro, Remco, Greasy, all of them so vicious, but Maestro really stepped up in that series, helping close it out. But we did see a little bit of shakiness from Northern Gaming. There was that one own goal that went all the way back.
Yep.
So they are not showing themselves to be 100% invincible.
But it's
moving
match
forward.
1 jitters, Like I expect all 4 of these first games,
Yeah.
like for these teams, to be a little shaky, and they'll kind of get into it like as the day goes on and as the weekend goes on.
I felt that applied to Genesis a little bit, so maybe even though they're in the lower bracket, maybe that's the kick they needed to really ignite and come back. So definitely don't count them out. But we are just getting started here at the RLCS International Final. Again, we're live from the Avalon Hollywood. Plenty more matches coming your way. Up next is going to be Exodus versus Mocket EU. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Your next match is coming up soon. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.